Be going. Hello, everyone. It's Jordan again today here with Cloud Underground. Today, I want to show you how to set up the Underground Nexus, the converged data center that we created I'm going to show you how to install that onto a Raspberry Pi. From the very beginning, I've kind of showed how to do some of those steps, but I wanted to show how to do this from basically step one. So yeah, I hope everybody is having a great day. Like I said, I'm Jordan. I am the CTO for Cloud Underground. If you would like to learn more about our company, Cloud Underground, you should go to our website, which is cloudunderground.dev. So cloudunderground, one word, .dev. So go there, and if you go to that website, you'll see this is the website I'm on. Well, I'm on our website right now, so you can check it out. You can see the courses that we offer, some of the services that we offer, and basically learn how to build this sort of infrastructure. Well, at least in our academy courses. Or you can get involved with our DevSecOps dojo and talk to us in there. That's a Discord server that we run, and we have a really active community in there, and you can get in there, ask them questions, ask us questions, you know bounce ideas off of people or whatever it is. So it's a really cool resource that I hope that you should I hope that you go check out, because the dojo is fun and we got a lot of cool people in there. So yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say today. So let's hop into getting a Raspberry Pi set up. So the first thing I'm going to do, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I've got a Raspberry Pi here, right? And this is a case that I designed, but we've got a Raspberry Pi in there. The Pi is like inside this metal case, actually. But none of that's very important. All you need to know is that there is a Raspberry Pi in here, and we have a hard drive here on the back of this Raspberry Pi case, and that is what we're going to be running the Raspberry Pi off of. I'm not using an SD card in this case, but you could use an SD card instead of this hard drive. You just need to do the same steps I'm doing, but just do them with the SD card instead of a hard drive. So the first thing that we have to do if we're trying to get a Raspberry Pi running on our system is we need to download the Raspberry Pi installer. And I am going to real quick get a capture going so that you can see the Raspberry Pi imager that I'm going to be using, because the Raspberry Pi imager is super cool, and it works really well. So let's do that. That's fine. And there it is, the Raspberry Pi imager. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and throw that in the middle of the screen. And I'll make it a little bigger for y'all. So there we go. So this is our Raspberry Pi imager. So this is where you would start. And to get the Raspberry Pi imager, I would just search Raspberry Pi imager on Google. You should find it. It will be at raspberrypi.org's website. So make sure that you are going to that URL. It should be somewhere in that base URL. Anyway, but yeah, you can get this Raspberry Pi imager. This is free from Raspberry Pi. And I like to use the light OSs. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose OS. We're going to choose Raspberry Pi OS Other. And we're going to find 64 Lite, Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit edition. So that's what we want. So that's the one we're going to choose. So we've got that. Next, I need to plug in our SSD here. So let me do that. So I need a little adapter for my USB-C port here on the front of the case. Okay, bing bong boom. Yep, don't need to worry about any of that. That's all dandy and fine. Okay, I should also say, make sure you're not doing this with a drive or an SD card that you have anything on that you don't want to lose, because we're going to erase everything that is on it. So just be aware of that. And just checking that. Okay, cool. So we're going to choose storage now, and that is a Samsung 850 Pro 256 gigabyte device. So it's just should be this one right here. So we'll choose that. We're going to click the options button next, because we don't want to just write. We want to set up some stuff. First of all, we want a host name. I'm going to call this testpy1. And we are going to enable SSH as well, because this is a headless install, and so we really need SSH in order to get into the machine and actually talk to it. So we'll use password authentication, that's fine, and we need to set up a username and password. So we've got a username, I'll put in a password that's super secure. And if you want to configure your wireless LAN, you can do that here by clicking this and then putting in your credentials. I'm not going to do that today. Also make sure you choose the correct country when you're doing this, but yeah, I don't care. I am going to set the locale to America, Denver, and US, and we'll have it eject when it's done. So that should be fine. Now we just go ahead and we click write, and it should very quickly, yes, we're fine. It shouldn't take very long to write this, although I think the Raspberry Pi imager does download the whole image in some cases, which can definitely slow things down a bit. So I can't promise you it's going to go as fast as it's going for me, but in my experience, this is usually a pretty quick process. So we are just getting it all going here. And once that's done, you can now remove. Okay, so that's done. So we have successfully imaged our hard drive now. So I'm going to go ahead and close the Raspberry Pi imager. Don't need it anymore. And I'm going to eject the device. So we'll safely remove that, and then I can unhook it from my PC. Okay. So now we have this here Raspberry Pi with this SSD flashed with the Raspberry Pi OS. So I'll go ahead and plug this USB. You can see I've got like this adapter. This is a SATA to USB 3 adapter. So let's put that back in to the hard drive. And then we're plugging this guy into the Pi here. Boom. Okay, so now we've got our hard drive plugged into the Pi. I will say this process should work fine if you have a brand new Pi. If you have an old Pi with old boot firmware on it, and you try and boot the Raspberry Pi directly from a hard drive, it won't work. You need to first get it going with an SD card, update the firmware, the boot firmware, which, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hit me up in Discord if you are curious how to do that. I can tell you how to do it. I don't remember offhand, but I do have the procedure written down somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, if it's an old Pi, you'll need to update that. But I don't need to, so we should be ready to go just like this. We just need to turn on our Pi now, and it should be good. So let me, first of all, I need to plug this thing in. Let me find a cord here. Sorry, I should have been a little more prepared for all of this. Okay, get my cord plugged in. Boom. Okay. Other side of the cord's got to go into the Pi. Boom. And then I need some power, which is this guy. Boom. Plugging in my power. Okay. And I'm plugging in the Pi. Now, it's going to fire up and get going. And I need to know what the IP address is of this Pi. So right now I'm watching lights flash. And once, basically if you have an Ethernet jack plugged into your Raspberry Pi when you first start it up, those Ethernet jack lights should be solid, and they'll stay that way for a while, and then they'll turn off and then turn back on, and they should start flashing with activity at that point. And usually once that happens, you're good to go. So I keep looking to see if the lights are doing that or not. Right now they're being a little on the slow side, it looks like. But hopefully we'll get going pretty quick here. So I'm just waiting for the Raspberry Pi to initialize right now. I think I'm going to take a quick break. Well, actually, I think it might be good. Okay, no, it's not done yet. So I'm going to take a quick break while it's doing this, and I will be right back. But you won't take a break because I'm going to pause the video, so it'll be instant for you. All right, see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and I think our Raspberry Pi is running now, and yeah, I also looked up the IP address. So you remember we named the Raspberry Pi Test Pi 1. So I was able to, you need to figure out the IP address that your DHCP server assigns the Raspberry Pi once it gets going. And the best way to do that is to either use some sort of network analyzing tool, which you can get on your cell phone, or to like hop onto your router. If you can log onto your router and look at the devices that are hooked into it, and it should show the IP addresses for those devices. So that's the other way you can find your IP address. I believe that my IP address for this guy. Oh, and here's the other thing. So let me go ahead and change this to this. Okay. So now we're going to get a little PuTTY. We're going to use PuTTY to connect to our Pi. So PuTTY is just an application that SSHs to a device. So I believe our IP address was this. I think 3.8, if I remember correctly. So we should be able to click open, and it should start the session. Okay, let me again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here is our SSH session. So, and I put in credentials. They were these. So we should be able to log in now. Please tell me that I didn't screw up the password. Really? Really? Oh, I'm going to be so mad if I screwed the password up. How did I screw up this password? Okay, I might have to re-image because somehow the password isn't right. I can't tell you how frustrated I am about that, but it's okay. I'm going to pause for a moment, and I will be back with the password correct. One moment. Okay. I reflashed it and was careful to put in a password this time that hopefully I didn't screw up. Let's try and restart this session. So, login is that. Password is that. Oh, come on. Come on. Am I... Okay, hold on. I'm starting to suspect that I'm not looking at the correct Raspberry Pi. Oh, I'm not looking at the correct Raspberry Pi. I'm an idiot. So there's a reason that this isn't working, and I didn't need to reflash, I think. I need to scan again, because I've got the wrong... Test Pi 1 is 39, not 38. So it helps to PuTTY to the correct device. So let's get a new session going. I'm going to put in the correct IP. You already saw this procedure, so I'm not going to worry about the fact that you can't see what I'm doing right now. It's just that PuTTY configuration screen where you type in the IP. I'm going to click open. It's asking me if I trust this host. Basically, there's the server's host key is not cached in the registry. You have no guarantee that the server is the computer you think it is. I know it is though, so I'm going to click that. Yes, I want to carry on connecting just this once, and it should actually, it'll cache the information too. So let me close this one and let me just change to this one. Okay, so now we can do that, and password should be that. Yes, it really helps to be logging into the Pi you think you're logging into. Otherwise, your password probably won't be the same. It just depends on how you have things set up, I suppose. Okay, so we're now on Test Pi 1. So this is our headless install of Raspberry Pi OS. So the first thing that we should probably do is update it, because that basically lets it know what packages are available and what stuff needs to be updated. So we'll do a sudo apt and sudo apt update. Sorry. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do apt or apt-get, so I just did apt. So, and then we'll do a sudo apt upgrade. I didn't mean to add the thing, but that's okay. So when you add a slash like that, it just tries to add another line, and I just pressed enter, so then it just did the command. Yes, that's fine. It shouldn't take very long. There shouldn't be a whole lot here to update. And then we should be good to go. All right, excellent. Okay, so here's the next step. In order for the Underground Nexus to work correctly, we need to have this setting called cgroup set up. And so what we need to do is, one sec, I'm going to open a little guide to help me. Here we go. This is the one I need. Okay. So what I need is this. So what we're going to do to set up the cgroup stuff is we're going to type sudo nano /boot /firmware /cmd line.txt. So we're modifying the cmd line.txt, and we're just doing it directly from here. Okay, boot.firmware, did I type it incorrectly? No, okay. Well, so the instructions I'm using are old. Let's go to cd/boot. And okay, so it's directly here. We don't need the dash firmware bit. We don't need this dash firmware bit here because the cmd line.txt is just straight in boot. So here it is right here. So we just need to do a nano cmd line. So if you're trying to do the command earlier that I was using, you'd just get rid of the firmware and you'd be good to go. Just dash boot dash cmd line.txt. So we're going to do nano cmd line.txt. Oh, it's unwritable, so we actually have to add a sudo to the beginning of that to elevate our permissions. Okay, now we can do it. So we got to go to the very end of this string. We're going to add a space after root weight, and then what we're going to do is we are going to add in cgroup underscore memory equals 1, and then cgroup underscore enable equals memory. Okay, so cgroup underscore memory equals 1 and cgroup underscore enable equals memory. So we need that at the end of this string. I'm going to do a Control O to write this now. Yep, wrote one line, so we can now exit. Okay, and now we just need to reboot to enable our cgroup stuff. So let's do a sudo reboot. Okay, and we're going to give that a sec to do its reboot. And in order for us to install the Underground Nexus, we need Docker running. So I think that's going to be our next thing, is we're going to go to Docker. Let's do docs.docker.com. Yes, okay. So this is docs.docker.com. We'll click download and install. We want to install on Linux, but we don't actually want to install Linux or desktop, so we're going to go down here and we're going to find Docker Engine, and we're going to click install Docker Engine, and we're doing that on Debian. And then we're going to follow these install the app using the repository method. So we didn't do sudo apt-get update, we just did sudo apt update, but that should be sufficient. So let's grab, oh, and I apologize, you might not be able to see that stuff, so let me get rid of this. So here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Sudo apt update, sudo apt-get install certificates curl and GNU PG. So I actually know that this stuff is already installed on Raspberry Pi OS, so we're going to skip that, and we're just going to go straight to this Docker official GPG key. I like to go one command at a time just to make sure everything is working correctly. So let me put this back. I'm going to move it over here so that we can hopefully do both of these things at once. And you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm copying that command, and then I'm going to go ahead and, oh yes, so first I need to restart the session here in PuTTY. So we're restarting the session. I'm logging in as Jordan using my password, and okay, now we're on here. Okay, now we can do this official GPG key thing. So that's the first thing. Okay, second command, copy, enter. Okay, looked good. And then finally this last command, copy, enter, good to go. now we can use this command to set up the repository. So we'll copy, boom. And now we can do install the Docker engine. So that's sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get update. We have to do this again now that we've got the repository stuff set up, because now it's going to see those Docker packages and it's going to update them. So, and now we can do install the Docker engine containerd and Docker compose. The latest one is fine, so we'll just copy this command. Erg. Why are you doing this? There we go. Copy. Okay. Yes, we want to continue. Use all that space up. We got 256 gigs. I think we'll be okay. So this should be fairly quickly to get Docker going, or it should be fairly quick to get Docker going. We'll see here in a moment, though, just how long it takes. Sorry, I'm looking around, checking a couple things out. Da, 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 da. Come on, Docker. Okay, excellent. It's done. So we should be able to do is sudo docker info now. And indeed, it looks like Docker is running. Everything looks happy. I still really like to do a reboot at this point, just to make sure that everything is good to go. So we're going to do that. Sudo reboot. And our thing unexpectedly closed, except for it didn't, because we were expecting it to close. So that's the instructions to get Docker going, so we can go navigate away from that now. I'm waiting for my Pi to reinitialize. Okay, I think it should be good to go now based on the lights. So let's restart. All right, now we're in. Okay. So now that we've got Docker installed, we got our cgroups ready to go, we should be ready for the Nexus. So let's go to our GitHub page, because this is where you learn how to install the Nexus stuff, right? We've got all our instructions here, so I'm going to scroll down, and we need one of these commands, and I'm going to do the secure pull for Raspberry Pi. So that's what we're using. So we'll just copy this command. Our user in here does not have permission to run Docker, so we got to do sudo, and then we can paste in that command, and we can press enter, and this should be relatively quick. I don't have the image installed yet, so it's got to download it all, but it's pretty quick to get the initial image going. So it's going. And it's kind of funny because it'll sit here at the top, and all of the activity will be scrolling through the top, and then once you see things start going down like this, you know it's almost done. So I think once that last one finishes, we're good to go, and we've got a running container now. So right, if we do sudo docker container ls, we can see our Underground Nexus. It's been up for 5 seconds. If we do it again, now it's been up for 11 seconds. So it looks like it's working. That's great. So the next step to get the Underground Nexus going is to run this command. So we'll copy that. And again, we need sudo in front because we're using it. This is a Docker command, and again, we don't have permissions with this user without elevating them. There are ways to give your user permission to use Docker, but I'm not going to go over that. You'll have to figure that out on your own time if you want to know how to do that. So anyway, we just run this script now, and boom, 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 it goes through and it installs the entire Nexus. And it's a good idea once you see, like, one of the first containers that it's going to set up is going to be Portainer. And it's a good idea to kind of watch this install, and when you see Portainer finish, immediately go to the Portainer server and log in, because otherwise it's going to time out, and then you have to actually restart the container to get Portainer to work. So you can see right now it's working on Portainer. If you didn't see that, right here you can see we've got Portainer starting. So once all of this stuff finishes, okay, download. Okay, so we should have Portainer now. So if we go here, we go 172.16.1. And we got to do HTTPS for Portainer, and then the IP address, and then with port 9050 at the end, we'll get you to this place. And we're going to go ahead and proceed. And this gets us to Portainer. I'm going to go ahead and put in username and password. And we can now create, oh, passwords must be 12 characters? Okay, well, whatever. Portainer wants you to be secure, apparently. All right, and now this is it. So we've got our system, and it's still being deployed right now. So, you know, you can see me scrolling through. Hopefully I didn't have too much covered up with this stupid window. Let me actually shrink it a little, because it doesn't need to be taking up the whole screen. So you can continue to watch it run. Meanwhile, you can see, yeah, we've got our inner DNS control. So Pi-hole is already running, and yeah, we've got Portainer running. And you can sit here and watch the services deploy here on Portainer, and you can spin things down if you don't want everything running. It's a good idea to do that if you're running on a Raspberry Pi, because really they aren't quite powerful enough hardware to run the full suite or the full stack. So I would recommend turning things off that you don't need. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anybody's seen this process takes a while. You know, it's probably going to be a good another 20 minutes before it is finished installing the entire Nexus stack. But hopefully that is a good introduction on how to set all this stuff up and get it running. So I think with that, I'm going to call it on the Raspberry Pi stuff. I'm actually going to get rid of that window that's showing you the stuff that's running. You know, we don't need to see that. And I'm going to go back to our web page. But yeah, you can see it's going. So cool. I'm going to go ahead and close our PuTTY, and I'm going to play a little bit of Terraria. So let's open up Terraria. And get the proper scene going. So Terraria is a super fun 2D platformer / crafting game / you know, sandbox explorer. It's a pretty awesome game. Got a lot of really fun content in it. It's really cheap. It's only $10 on Steam, so you can get it and check it out. I mean, it's a fun game. That's why I play it. I like it, at least, you know. So, but it's also a really nice example of like a server set up in the Underground Nexus, where you can kind of see how the performance looks and stuff like that, because this particular Terraria server is running in an instance of the Underground Nexus in its own container, and it works really well. So let's get it going here. So we'll join via IP, and I like to hide my password. and then unhide my screen. I'm gonna get us a little music going. So yeah, here's our Terraria server again. This is, oh, wait, why don't we have it? Okay, here we go. So this is the Terraria server running in an Underground Nexus container, and that is running on an NVIDIA Jetson AGX Xavier. So it's a pretty powerful piece of equipment, but you can see kind of like what kind of lag you're looking at and how well it runs. It runs really well. I think it's a good example of what kind of performance you can expect to get out of one of these. I am going to turn on some music for a moment while I play a little Terraria. So this music is from, we run a 24-hour-a-day radio station stream that you can check out on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, search Cloud Underground, and then you should be able to find, search Cloud Underground on YouTube, you'll find our YouTube channel. You should be able to find our radio station running in the channel. And yeah, we got a lot of cool music, so if you like it, you know, tune in, check it out, and you can use it as background music for a stream without worrying about getting takedowns, DMCA takedowns or anything. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about all that. So let's play a little Terraria. So last time in Terraria, I got my switch working, so now I can easily get up to the upper areas, and I want to keep exploring for Sky Islands, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. Now I found several, but there's more this way, I'm pretty positive, so. Yeah, this is a good elevation. I'm gonna find more. I'm surprised I haven't seen another Sky Island yet. Maybe there aren't any in this direction. They could be all on the other side, but my experience, they do tend to clump in one direction or another. Man, I guess I still got a long way to go. To the edge of the map, I should say. I wonder if I should go a little lower, but I really think I would see something from this. The islands typically have like little clouds above them or whatever. The stars don't move it. It's kind of like, it's weird. Oh, we found one. I guess I am too high. Wonder if I'm missing other ones. Now I've got to rock it out and see what else I'm missing. I'm gonna loot all of this. Yeah, get out of my way. Yeah, get out of my way. Okay. Yeah, I doubt there's any more here. But this one's a lot lower than the other one, so I don't know. I might just explore around a little bit to make sure I'm not missing any. So I'm going to try and jump through this black space here and see, make sure there's no islands there that I'm not seeing. But I really don't think that's probably very likely. See, now that I've got this going up here, it's so much easier. Ride my flamingo. Let's go, flamingo. So there's still a pretty big black space where there could be an island, I guess, so. Just gonna make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's no islands. I think we would have seen something. We would have seen something. So cool. I want to see if I can suss out one more, because I feel like there's got to be one more of these islands up here. There's gotta be one more. Ah, that is the top. I wanted to see if I would be able to just run over that, and I couldn't quite. I kind of caught a little bit, but is there any chance there's an island down there that I missed? I really doubt it. I think I'm just going to keep going over. Assume that is not an island that I missed. I see the Ayakutulu in the background cruising around. Maybe he wants to come fight me. These harpies, they really are quite aggravating, I must say. Holy cow. I almost fell off there. Because I don't have my rocket boots on with that other... Good grief, these harpies are really being a pain in my butt. Yeah, die. Leave me alone. Let me just look for Sky Islands. Is that so much to ask? Apparently. Because these harpies don't want to let me do it. I like this song, it's a pretty good one. See, I wonder if I'm missing high... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's how far... Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. Let's see if I can find one more island and then I'll probably call it. But I know there's gotta be one more around here. One advantage of the mounts apparently is that they move at the fast speed immediately as opposed to fast run boots or whatever, which you have to like, they kind of have to get up to speed, which is annoying.
This was the plan. We had started looking at the standard model. And we had chosen to do QCD.
Kind of weird up in space with the stars not moving. I like this song, it's a good one. I'm gonna ditch that guy and just use the rocket boots because I can get a little higher. Oh no! I hate it when I do that so much. Because it took me a long time to get all the way over there. And now I gotta do it again. Make sure I'm on a weapon this time so that doesn't happen again. This is the thing to watch. We can watch the map go by. Alright, we're getting close to this next island. Very close. Getting very close. Ooh. I meant to soften that fall, but I failed. Okay, that wasn't so bad actually. Now let's get that map out of there. There's got to be more Sky Islands. I'm gonna find it. I want to know where they all are. I should probably be like trying to isolate my corruption, because that's the other big thing I need to do, but oh, these harpies are so aggravating. Fortunately, I do have some tools to take care of them. Gotta be one more Sky Island. Haha, I found it. All right. Cool. Just gotta love these skyline islands. They're so cool. Ooh. Love is in the trash slot. Nice. Loot all. Alright. Well, we found a lot of the Sky Islands. Cool, well, this is not the most exciting Terraria session today, but I think I'm going to call it with that. I found another Sky Island, so I feel somewhat accomplished. I hope everybody is having a great day, and you know, if you are interested in Cloud Underground or what we do, I would really encourage you to go to our website and check us out. So that's cloudunderground.dev. You can learn about where to join the dojo right here. That's our Discord server to talk to us or get involved with our community. Super cool stuff. Sorry about the light. It got all crazy all of a sudden. But anyway, I think that's a good indication that I need to call it. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great day, and we will catch you for the next one. Bye.